Hey y'all. I guess because I set up this live on my mobile, on my phone, it wouldn't let me go live on my computer. So I've been like annoyingly playing with this thing the last 30 minutes. But let me get my phone stand. Whoops. Since now I gotta use my phone. Oh snap. Okay. Sorry y'all. Let me get my life together. And totally regroup now because hey. Okay, let me plug up my phone. I won't have any juice. No. Hey y'all. If I knew that, I would have been more prepared. And I definitely have somewhere to be at 7. Thank you. Well, maybe I can look at it, mute my thing, and see it because I definitely can't see my chat from there. And try to put on my makeup real quick. Yes. Thank you. Okay, so let me go ahead. It is a huge lag. On the computer. So today I want to talk about, while I put my face on for this date ish. I'm not gonna do too much, but I wanted to talk about deal breakers and like not only the importance of deal breakers, but what are some of your deal breakers. Of course, I'm gonna share some of my deal breakers and the importance of deal breakers and the importance of having level up deal breakers, but also having realistic deal breakers. So and I think my deal breakers, I already penciled in my eyebrows while I was trying to figure that out, so I just have to fill them in. But so let's see. I can't even see what I did right in my phone because I'm live streaming from my phone. Let's see. Let me find my notes real quick. And I really gotta hurry up. I'm still not used to Mac computers. So I kind of remember. So I think deal breakers are like one of the most important things because it sets the tone along with your standards. deal breakers really set the tone, for one, for where your mindset is, and two, where, you know, your train of thought. It'll show you where you are in your journey. And I mean, for the most part, deal breakers are deal breakers. And I mean, unless it's something very, very crazy, you know, I don't think I have too many like crazy deal breakers. But I'll just let you guys know, like, one of my deal breakers is, well, I have a few. So I don't like dating divorcees. Now, that's not a deal breaker. For me, the deal breaker is not a deal breaker. Dating a divorcee, it's something that I would consider, but it's something that I shy away from if I can. And the reason I say that is because, from my experience, and I've, you know, briefly dated a couple divorcees, and it's kind of like a turn off to me. Like, not a turn off. People get divorced. You know, nobody's special in that way. People get divorced, and I'm not going to judge people because they've been divorced. But, like, I find, especially with a particular group of men, that when they're divorced, they become very jaded, and they become very, not unrealistic, but I can almost tell when a man is a divorcee, and also like sort of the reasoning for it. Now, if you have a good reason for being divorced, that's a different thing. And I think if your reason is good, then you will move differently. But I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about people who divorce for however you say that word, irreconcilable differences, or however you say that word, whatever. I cannot find my freaking palette. Anyway, so I'll improvise. So that's like, it's not a total deal breaker for me. Like, I would consider it, but my thing with a lot of divorced men, I notice, is that first of all, their reasons for getting divorced aren't that good. And second of all, it's like, anyway. So my real deal breakers, I think, is, for one, you can't be poor and struggling. That's like not up for negotiation. Sorry. Like, at this point in my life, you know, I would be an idiot to say kid. I'm not a fan of people with kids. Like, but I also understand how old I am, and I would have to be an idiot to, like, most people have kids at this age. A lot of people don't, though. For real. A lot of people don't. So, but a lot of people do. As long as the situation is right with children, it's not really a big deal for me, because I do like children and I do want children. And also, I only want one kid. So from my body, I only want one child. So, you know, at least my kid will have siblings. But so some of my deal breakers are like, besides, you know, not having any money, like, you have to have good credit. Like, that is something that's like, not, because if you don't have credit in this society, if you don't have good credit, what you gonna do with your life? You can't buy a house. You don't have credit cards. Like, you're gonna depend on me for, like, how are you gonna get a mortgage? How are you gonna get, like, anything? How can you get any? You can barely get a job now if you don't have good credit, because most good jobs run your credit. So It's like I really don't. I can't play with people who don't have good credit. Um, I really want to see. Um, so let me see what y'all. My dear Barkers are one men who have a hatred for their mothers, ex women. Ooh, they may be damaged and need to seek help. Men who care about women's income, education, as they want a Barbara the Builder. Yep. Hey, Sandrina. Hey, girl. I don't want to go through labor either. Like, I'm really scared about that. So, um, struggling is a big no-no. Men who date women while struggling usually upgrade and leave those. Yep, leave them right behind and go get somebody who they perceive to be better. Absolutely not. And that's why I'm like, you need to have your life together. Like, I would prefer you not prefer. Again, like, you have to be doing better than me. Like, to some degree, we can be on the same level to some degree, but I'm not gonna lie, I want somebody who is doing better than me financially, especially. So another one of my deal breakers that ties into that is like, when I do have a child, like, I don't want to have to worry about going to work. And like, that's like my biggest thing. Like, I do not want to have to worry about going to work and people at my job getting on my nerves. And so when I have my kid, like, I might just act like I'm going to come back to work for my job so I can, my health insurance. But then, no, because I want to be able to take care of my own children, especially while they're little. The minimum a year, and then I feel like I would be ready to get out of the house. But maybe not, probably not, knowing me. And so that's like what my mom did. Like, my mom, she worked until she started having children. I think she worked with my sister, who's older, and then with me and my brothers, she stayed home until my brothers were in kindergarten, and I was in, like, no, if they were in kindergarten, I would have been in second grade. So, but I remember her being a substitute teacher in like my first grade class. So she started like being a substitute teacher for a little while, on and off, like getting her feet wet. And then by the time my brothers went in school, she ended up actually working at the school. Well, that was her career, working at the elementary school that we went to. So yeah. And that's what I want. Like, I want to raise, especially when I am, getting older. So and then with all of the stuff going on and people talking about, how infant mortality and things of that nature with Black women, like, and how people don't take our pain seriously. I got glitter everywhere from doing my Christmas decorations. Like, with all of that talk, like, it makes me very scared to have children. So, like, I really want to be cared for. If I'm going to have somebody's child, if I'm going to go through that pain and struggle to bring your legacy into the world, like, I'm not going back. I'm not going to be going back to a 9-to-5, especially right after I give birth and all that stuff. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, because that's going to be too much for me. So, no. Yep. I want to work because I want to, not because I have to. Exactly. And I've worked since I was 14. Like, I will pretty much work like forever, pretty much. But like, I don't want to have to work. Like, if people getting on my nerves, I want to be able to leave. Like, yeah, like she said, I'm not housewife material. I would stay out for a few years after my child. Yep. Like, I feel like 2 years would be maximum. Like, that I would be but even then, you know, I would start doing, I don't know, baby YouTube videos or something. I would be doing something, but it's not going to be going to a 9 to 5 with people breathing down my neck. Like, no, I'd rather be home taking care of my baby. And plus, on top of that, you know, everything is so expensive. Like, infant daycare, I would be working to pay daycare. Like, the infant daycare is like $1,400. Like, you would be like, have to find somebody, you know, for anything cheaper than like maybe $900, maybe $800. But most infant daycare, because one of my coworkers did that. She was white, and she was probably like 36 when she had her daughter a few years ago. And honey, she made our managers and think she was coming back to work. And she was like, no, I'll be working to pay, like, my whole paycheck would be daycare. For what? When I can stay, ain't nobody gonna take care of my child the way I will. So I might as well stay home and take care of my own child. So that's definitely a deal breaker for me, especially if that's too light. Especially if, like, he want kids, and I mean, I want one child, so I definitely, no, I have no. And you need to be able to pay all the bills and we not struggle, like, especially all, you know. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie, as leveled up as we, you know, all of these conversations, like, I don't have a problem with somebody paying my bills, but it would be an adjustment for me, especially like stuff like my student loans and that kind of stuff. I mean, if somebody gonna pay them, I would, you know, that's not me, great. But as far as having children, that's a deal breaker for me. Now, my superficial deal breaker is like, y'all, I have so many like pet peeves and stuff, weird stuff, and I'm like weirded out by people with like nubs, like men who, like, I guess chew their fingernails and like don't have fingernails. Oh my god, it's like the grossest thing ever. Like, I don't even, like, don't touch me. Like, it's disgusting. Like, I could never like deal with a man who like eat his fingernails for a living. Like, first of all, it's gross. Second of all, what are you going through that you have to chew your fingernails to nubs to where you don't even have, they ain't even nubs no more? Like, that is the grossest thing on the planet to me. So that's my little shallow deal breaker. I don't like short men, like really short. I'm not talking about like 5'9". I mean, I'm 5'7", so 5'9" ain't much taller. But I've come a long way with that. So, you know, not tall men is no longer a deal breaker for me. I just want a man who's going to provide me with the lifestyle that I want, you know. And I don't think the lifestyle I desire is that extravagant. So it's not like I'm asking for a whole lot. Like, so, you know. Let me read some of y'all comments. I want Black women to be able to work for themselves and make as much money as possible from home. Yep, it's a lot of money out here to get, honey. It's a lot of money out here to get. You know, everybody doesn't want to work for themselves. Some people like their career, you know, their career is what they always wanted it to be, and that's all good with me. It's just not what I want to do. Oh, and I definitely want a doula too. So, but I really think whatever your deal breaker. Okay, I'm done with my eyebrows. I get so OCD with my eyebrows that I spend so much time on it when I need to move on. And I'm gonna try not to, since I got started so late, I'm gonna like not do much. But I don't even know what color foundation I need nowadays. It's that time of year. But I really think like deal breakers and really sitting with yourself and figuring out what your deal breakers are. It's like one of the most important things, because like it's one of those things that I'm sure people talk about online and stuff like that. But it's like one of those things. This looks so orange, but I'll make it work. One of those it's like one of those things that a lot of people, you know, people say, oh, level up and, you know, get a man that do this and that. But at the same time, in order to know your deal breakers, I mean, you really got to know what you want out of your life and what you want your life to look like. You know, I know for a fact I won't ever just be a stay-at-home mom alone. You know, I definitely want that to be an option, especially the first year of my child's life, because I want to be there. And honestly, kids grow up so fast, a year probably won't even be enough. So I need to buy myself some new makeup brushes for Christmas. So I think we should have realistic deal breakers, and I think our deal breakers should be conducive to the life that we want. Because at the end of the day, if it's not, what are you gonna do? So I definitely think it's important for us all to figure out exactly what exactly what we want our lives to look like. And honestly, like I said, and like I was at my last video about me having no desire to be, you know, in high society and stuff like that. Like I don't have it, but you know, I want like a decent sized house. It don't have to be a mansion, but I want a decent sized house and all that good stuff. I want to be comfortable. You know, I want a man who takes pride in being a man, and a man who takes pride in his work, whatever that is. Because I'm going to tell you like this. Dating dusties that can't hold a job. Every time you look, they quitting a job because the white man telling them what to do, or whatever reason they have. It's always something new. It's not the business. I'm already looking at homes I might want. Oh yeah. I want a man that can definitely pay the mortgage by himself. Because I don't want to pay it. And honestly, if you really think about it, being able to pay a mortgage and stuff by yourself, what is that really? Especially depending on, and this is my thing with a lot of deal breakers and a lot of stuff like in your level up journey. Like let's really think about this. And this is where I'm glad like more and more Black women are having these conversations about, you know, because I'm gonna be honest, like I know a lot of more black women, a few, have been talking about like clarifying their messages on, and my thing is this. I think it's a bunch of black women who don't know what they want. I think it's a bunch of black women who, you know, are overwhelmed about the idea, either overwhelmed because they don't think they can attain it or for whatever reason. And they're misconstrued. There has never been one YouTuber I've heard say that their goal is they have the ability to get us a rich man. Never. I have a habit of looking at my computer since my computer is on and I can see the chat from there. But I've never heard not one YouTuber say that they are here to get black women rich men. Not one. So my thing is, you know, a lot of people, it's one thing to not know all of these words and not know what they mean, but it's a whole other thing to act like people are saying things that they're like legit not saying. And like, oh, now black women want to level up. Because the bottom line is leveling up for black women is sometimes basic knowledge. And let's also be serious. Most non-black women split the bills. You know how many white women at my job get pregnant and gone for their little 4 weeks or their little 6 weeks and they got to come back to work? Most of them. Now, my one coworker that was on my team, she didn't come back. And that's because the daycare bill was going to be so expensive that she had to make an executive decision. And even then, you know, she waited until the literal 11th hour to say she wasn't coming back. Like, she literally waited until the week she was coming back to say she wasn't coming back. So it's not like black women are, I mean, too many other women are doing this. So or too many other women are, you know, but that's where it comes to. Sometimes you gotta have your deal breaker. Sometimes you gotta know what you're willing to put up with and what you're not willing to put up with, and what you're willing to sacrifice or give up. Like for me, ideally, I don't want a man with kids, but at this age, it's like if you in your late 20s, early 30s, like everybody got kids. So it's not but so much you can do. But my thing is, I would just want the situation to be copacetic and no drama and all that kind of stuff, because personally I don't come with a lot of baggage. So I don't come with a lot of baggage. I don't come with drama, none of that stuff. So I really don't want to be introduced to it. And there are people in this world who don't have to do these things, like who is not drama filled even if they have children. So nobody wants to deal with it. Don't sleep on those high earning blue collar workers. Yep. Especially the ones with their own businesses and stuff like that. Honey, that's contracted. Because listen, like even if you think it's your 9-to-5 job and the people that clean up those buildings, like, you know, my job have Mexicans and stuff that clean up. Do you know how much money they probably making? Cleaning, like, having contracts as big as these institutions and stuff, like, and I work for a big financial institution, so it's like, you know how much money these people are making doing this? Or if you do like she said, blue collar work and stuff like that, those are the people that's always going to have a job. Because unless we all living in cardboard boxes, people going to need electricians, people going to need plumbers, people going to, like, especially if you get somebody that owns the business or they're independent contractors themselves and they are contracted into certain, please, those people make cake. I have an uncle in Maryland that like built like this ginormous house because he is like an independent contractor, like for, I think, like building houses or something like that. I don't know what he did, but like those people have money, so it don't have to be anything. And let's talk about it, because people that work in, like, Wall Street and all those kind of jobs and stuff like that, as soon as the economy tank, them people get fired. So it's like, you want somebody that has an actual successful business. Like, you don't want somebody who, got a little janky business that they do sometimes or partially or whatever. Or somebody, y'all know. Somebody that's working but ain't really working. Y'all talking about y'all, don't even get me started on what I want my house to look like. Said I think men will shame women with kids, but they will have kids with baby mama drama, not having it. I'd rather date a man with no kids. Yeah, I prefer dating a man with no kids. And let's see, the thing, what men do is lie. They lie about not having drama. I mean, and what do? You don't want a man who don't take care of his kids. So it's like, if I can help it, I'll steer clear. But I will say this, like, it also depends on how many kids you have. Like, I'll deal with you if you got one. If you got one, we can talk about it. If you got two, my eyebrow gonna be up. But we can talk about it. If you got more than two, because my thing is, if you got all them kids, my thing is, if you got all them kids, you ain't got no money. You ain't got no money. Hold on, y'all. But yeah, coming to pick me up, I didn't even give him my address, so I had to text him my address. Sort of. But you see, I'm the opposite. I prefer men with children because I have one. Men who are active in their kids' life understand the parent flow. This is true. This is true. I think men, especially if you have kids, like, men are funny creatures. They're funny creatures. Because men will have kids, but then don't want a woman with a kid. So it's very interesting for sure. But if they have kids, then they understand. However, I don't have kids. So, but I love kids. So, that's not, it's really for the most part, it's not the kids that's the issue. One is your financial situation. If you can afford them, and me too, or if you can afford me and my kid. Plus, if your situation is right, if your ducks in a row, if you not, because I don't have time for all that extra, like, I'm gonna try to be light on the powder. I gotta learn how to do stuff with a light hand. I said, if that's what you want, put it out there and you'll get it. My brother and his wife met in their late 20s, early 30s, and just had their first child together, marrying first. Oh yeah. Oh, it can happen, because I'm not having anybody's kids if I'm not married. At this stage in my life, I'm not having kids, because like, if I had a kid by myself, it would be because I adopted but I'm not. Why did I do that again? But I'm not having kids just because I don't think I could handle being a single parent. Like, I would be in the corner crying like a crazy person. Like, I don't think I could handle being a single mom. Like, I can't raise kids by myself. So, and if you have sex, you're taking a risk of getting pregnant. So, I'm either not gonna have sex, or I'm gonna go to Planned Parenthood, because you ain't gonna get me. And when I get back, I'm gonna have to come back and clean these brushes again. What's Sandrina say? Men that have lots of kids won't marry you, will keep you in generational poverty. Some of those men don't even help raise them. Yep. And even the ones that do. I'm getting all off topic, but a lot of men men used to act like, women try to trap them, and I guess some women might, but a lot of men try to trap women. Let's keep it real. A lot of men will try to trap women with babies so that they can, have that that's why I don't like the baby mama. I don't like my baby mama. My. It's like weird to me. Like, that people like to stake ownership in a person. That's your child's mom. They not my anything. They're not yours if you didn't marry them, or if y'all not together. So a lot of men will one of my exes, as soon as I was ready to leave, he started singing a different tune, even when I was willing to have a kid or whatever. And I was like, and then I was ready to leave.